The 2027 presidential election may still be far away, but it appears the grand scheme for the race is on. Former presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and a former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, paid a courtesy visit to former President Olusegun Obasanjo at his residence in Abeokuta, Ogun State, with the meeting raising eyebrows in the political cycle. But Kwankwaso explained that the meeting was primarily on national issues and the future of Nigerian politics, while also basking in the joy of seeing former Governor Duke again. Such a convergence of political figures will always raise questions. This coming days will be really interesting. So, Emeka, looking at this conversation, is it too early? Is it safe to say that the race for the 2027 election has started?
This is what the time when you ask me to discuss, I'll be interested in discussing this because I know Kwankwaso. He's okay. Very interested.
Very interested.
Yes.
How about former Governor Duke?
Is remote. Yeah, why not? Every politician wants to, go ahead. No politician wants to stay in Siberia. Yes. Political Siberia. If you permit that term. Every politician wants to remain relevant. And, of course, in remaining relevant, you must be seen to be engaging in meetings, in, political activities, in consultations, reaching out to old allies. Of course, they were governors,
Yes.
Reaching out to old political allies, forming new alliances, When you ask whether it's too early, there's nothing that's too early. Because this is December. We're entering 2025, and take note, let me tell you, it's just next year that any semblance of governance will take place. So whatever the people are looking for anywhere, whether you're looking for road, hospitals, and all those things, generally is next year.
I was saying maybe for May next year.
For May.
For the president, like 2 years, like a midterm report. Then the race starts.
But the president, people around him are already talking of him running for a second term when he has not got to that midterm. So, it's the nature of politics for, it's the nature of politics for politicians to, continue meeting. Like they said, they just went to meet, ex-president Obasanjo just on consultation on critical national issues. Of course, there's nothing wrong with friends, old friends meeting, with a respected elder statesman, the former president. There's nothing wrong with it. So if in between, if in the course of the meeting, Ogasio, I'm still not seeing the ambition, although for now I'm not pushing anything. Well, it could come up, and they leave it there until another time.
Now, part of the meeting, they also said, let's talk coalition and merger now. How do you respond to the call by for a merger of the PDP and other political parties? They said it is more about political survival than offering a better alternative to the APC.
You see, the selfishness of some of these political gladiators would not allow them to form a coalition.
Okay.
Yeah. In 2023, the last presidential election, one would have expected Atiku, Peter Obi, and Kwankwaso to come together. If you look at the votes from the three of them, they would probably have put up a stiffer fight against the president now, Tinubu. Negotiations broke down. Everybody wants to be president. Nobody wants to come to be a second fiddle, a vice president, so to say. So, alliances between these parties, I don't see it working. What we had...
You think there are different ideologies?
Yeah, what we had with the APC was quite unique. Where the NPDP then...
Yes.
And ABGA and the former AC, Action Congress, came together. But something very, very unique that produced Ashiwaju. And until PDP realizes that they need to form an alliance with NPP and Labour Party. That is the only time they can have a formidable opposition to challenge the APC, currently being led by Asiwaju Tinubu, who is a master of the game.
Now, let me add to this. Former President Obasanjo always has this meeting, with all of these persons. But how relevant these meetings with the former president, looking at outcomes of elections?
You see, Obasanjo, you might say, it doesn't have political capital, so to say. But what he can do, he has diplomatic weight. He can market any candidate to the diplomatic community. So, but in his base in Ogun, and even in Nigeria, he can't sell any candidate. But for those who matters outside the country, yes, he can garner support for some candidates. So that's the nature of Obasanjo. That's why even Asiwaju Tinubu went to him when he wanted to contest. He led some leaders of the APC to him. So I see more of these visits coming. I see Peter Obi and even
also coming to visit.
Coming to him. And recall that 2 weeks ago, Peter Obi was in Adamawa eating breakfast with Atiku Abubakar. So we are going to see more of these meetings, coalitions, towards as we approach 2027. It's a game that is unfolding, and it will continue to unfold because politicians will not leave the field idle. They want to ensure that there are activities.
After the conversation going.
Yes, after the meeting on Sunday at Obasanjo Library. They said, no, we won't disclose. We just came here to see Baba and to greet him and also discuss the future of politics and governance in Nigeria. They didn't say more than that. But people are already reading minutes to it.
Okay, Emeka Madunago, what is the relevance? Meeting the former President Obasanjo, look at the outcomes of the election.
Yeah, of course, it's relevant. At least it gives us hope that we are not just that the ship of state is not rudderless. It gives us hope that there are alternative voices.
Okay.
Because in recent times there have been fears about, Nigeria sliding into a one-party state. But of course, when we still have politicians who can offer alternative views, it gives people that confidence to want to be, to want to monitor and follow political events. Yes, even if they went to discuss their ambitions or whatever, there's nothing wrong with it. President Tinubu will also very soon embark on his own, trips. Even though he's the president, but he will still need to reach out.
Exactly.
He will still need to reach out to critical constituencies. He won't just sit in the presidential villa. He will move around. He will visit. Former President Obasanjo too. He's going to visit him. He will visit Kwankwaso. He might even meet with Donald Duke. He will meet. They will meet here and there.
And visit IBB.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, visit IBB and Salam.
So the thing is, don't never say never.
Okay.
Don't rule out, the possibility of politicians.
Okay. All right. Before we move to our next conversation, some of the things they said. They also said that May next year, that's when the main thing will start. Talk about the midterm report of the Tinubu administration and all of it, because they're looking at governance, the economy. Now, let me put it to you. How would you describe so far the way the president has handled the economy?
Well, he met a very bad economy,
okay,
and he threw all the parts right into the ring from day one, removing subsidy,
yes,
floating the naira, and also getting an appropriate pricing for power. Those three factors,
yes,
was like a shock to our system. But I think the point we are now, we're at a state of equilibrium where we have come to live with all the shocks. We have absorbed all the shocks.
Okay.
Nothing can shock Nigerians any further. It's like we are getting to a point of stability now, where you see a situation where 400 naira per liter or thereabout when the president came. Now we're at 1,001 or 1,000 to 1,001 or thereabout. Okay. If we are going to have an increment in fuel price now, I mean, it's not going to be significant. Okay. Electricity tariff too, I think we're at that point. Also, the naira, there has been some stability, although in the past few days it's been coming down, adjusting to market dictates. So we are at that point where a little bit of stability is coming in. So by first quarter, second quarter next year, we should see the gains, more of the gains of this. And also recall that our crude production has gone to about 1.8 million barrels per day. So all of this will add up to stabilize the economy. So it's still early in the day yet, but as you get to the midterm, no significant discussion can be made of how far we have progressed until we get to the midterm. To the midterm. Yes.
Just in 30 seconds, what do you think?
I don't agree.
Oh, you don't agree?
Yeah, I think some of those steps were too hasty. Because when you still have over 80 million Nigerians in poverty, Nigeria having, having the highest number of people living in extreme poverty, then you now wonder, so many people have their cars parked at home, people trekking on the roads, people can't feed their children. So what it shows you is that, the government, even the government has acknowledged, that yes, it still needs to do some work. It still needs to look at its policies, that its policies have, not met Nigerians on the right side. And insofar as purchasing power is low, then whatever economic policies you are implementing are just sound, just like sound.
You don't have hope that by the midterm, by May next year, things would have normalized? You don't have the hope?
What you're calling the midterm is just 5 months.
Yes.
No, it's just 5 months away. So that means 7 months already into that midterm. Okay. What have we seen? It's nothing that's impressing me. Looking at the medium-term economic framework, what you have there, ambitious targets, but with the reality on the ground, meeting those ambitious targets, I wonder how they, how they intend to go there. But the point must be made that they must do more work. They must do more work to make sure that purchasing power increases, and then Nigerians are able to take care of their basic needs. As long as the ordinary man, the average Nigerian, cannot put food on the table, the economic policies, you are just blowing big grammar.
All right, but why I actually asked this, because they said that the midterm report of President Tinubu's presidency will determine their next line of action.
But will Nigerians not eat before then?
Okay. We need to go on this quick break.